Hi, Eric Wilson here, 30-year independent licensed mechanic. In the next short while, I'll show you the inside story on this 2008 C230 Mercedes-Benz 4MATIC all-wheel drive, so you can make yourself an informed decision on whether this is for you or not. Now, coming in on the front left tire, there's about 90% tread on aggressive snow tires, so you definitely got good tires here for the winter time. Now, coming behind the front left tire, the first thing I want to point out is that these three joints right here, this is the outer tie rod, and this is critical. It's the only thing that holds the wheel to the steering, and this is tight. This and this are lower ball joints on the left, and they're critical as well because they hold the wheel to the chassis, and they are tight. This rubber boot here is the outer CV, and it's full of grease, and if it was ripped, you'd see grease all over the place, but you see for yourself, good and dry, and that's important. That grease keeps that axle lubricated and going and spinning the way it should. Now on brakes, you've got brand new brakes, 100%, this fact I know because I just changed them, 100% brakes on your front brakes there. The inner CV boot right here, another a little harder to see, but again, full of grease, and if it was ripped, you see grease all over the place, and that you can see is good and dry. Now speaking of good and dry, I'm just taking a shot of under the pan here. That's the oil pan, pardon me, this is the tranny oil pan here. I'm not seeing any active leaks, okay? Yeah, really very leak-free, which is surprising for an '08, but this definitely is leak-free that I can see. Now coming across to the front right tire, about 90% tread on aggressive snow tires. Coming behind the front right tire, this and this are the right lower ball joint, and they are tight. This is the right outer tie rod, that is tight. Brakes are brand new brakes, I've just put them on. The outer CV boot, again, full of grease, not ripped. The inner CV boot, a little harder to see, but good and dry as well. Oh, one more thing. This connected from there up to there, a little hard to see. That rod right there is the right sway bar link, and it's connected, and it's important because it dampens the sway when you go around the corner. On the left, connected from there up to there, that's the left sway bar link connected and doing its job of dampening the sway. Now, following down on your exhaust here, everything is intact, and I'm not surprised because Mercedes-Benz puts in like a Super Duty exhaust on their vehicles. I've never seen a Mercedes-Benz with a problem on the exhaust yet as far as rot goes. Now, right here is for there's the rear diff. Where the rear diff goes in, this is a leak point. If it was going to leak, it would leak right there, and you see for yourself, good and dry. Another point, this is the output shaft on the drive, the right output shaft on the rear diff, and you see for yourself, good and dry. More importantly, this rubber boot right here, same thing, full of grease. That's the CV, and it's dry as well. This is the left output shaft on the rear diff, and you see for yourself, good and dry, so no leaks that I can see. Now coming across to the right rear tire, again about 90% tread on aggressive snow tires. Coming behind the front, the rear tire, the rear right tire, this sway bar link connected from here down to there, a little harder to see, but that is connected, doing its job. This tube right here is the shock. Now it's full of oil, and you see for yourself, good and dry. And if it was leaking, you'd see it dripping all the way down the side. The right rear spring suspension, that is intact with no cracks, no breaks. Your right outer CV boot, good and dry. All your connections are tight. I don't see any issues on the right rear side, brake-wise, leak-wise, or suspension-wise. Coming across to the left rear tire, again about 90% tread on aggressive snow tires. Your left shock, good and dry. Your left spring suspension, intact, no cracks, no breaks. Oh, your rear brakes are brand new. Again, the reason I know, because I just put pads in there, brand new pads. And the left outer CV boot, good and dry. Left inner CV boot, good and dry. And then your left sway bar link, just connected from there down to there, a little harder to see, but that is connected and doing its job. So brake-wise, leak-wise, suspension-wise on the rear, I'm not seeing any issues. Now, this is the left strut, and now inside here, this tube, this shiny rod goes inside of the tube, and it's full of oil inside here. If it was leaking, you'd see it all along in here, and you see for yourself, good and dry. The spring suspension, intact, no cracks, no breaks on the front left suspension. Coming around to the front right suspension, same thing. If you look inside there, if it was leaking, you see it leaking all the way around here, and that is good and dry. So, and your spring suspension intact. So, right and left front spring suspension and shock absorber are no issues. Okay, with the motor running, you've got 172,000 K, definitely not high K. No check engine lights that I can see. No cracks in your windshield. Dash looking very clean. All right, what I'm going to do is take you out and show you the condition of the motor now. Okay, with the motor running. Shot of the exhaust with the motor running. Very, very clean. Now, one thing I always do is I take off the oil cap and I take a look underneath there for any kind of sign of white goo. That would be a mixture of oil and antifreeze, which mean a big problem inside the motor and something you want to run away from. I am not seeing any indication of that in this. In fact, I am not hearing any indication on this motor other than a well-maintained motor, and yeah, I really don't see any issues with this car whatsoever. So hopefully this will help you make an informed decision, and I'm available to answer any questions that you or any concerns that you just make a call. I'll be happy to help you there, and hopefully this will help you make so. And if you have any other vehicle that you want me to take a look at, I'll be happy to do that as well, because I just want you to know the inside story and make a good decision. Thank you very much.